The shocking true history of Christmas trees. Every December, millions of us drag a tree into our homes, cover it in lights, and place gifts beneath it, almost without thinking. We call it tradition. We call it heartwarming. We call it Christmas. But here's the truth most people never hear. Christmas trees are far older than Christmas, far stranger than you've been told. And their original purpose had nothing to do with Santa, gifts, or even Christianity. Today, we uncover the shocking origins of the Christmas tree, a story of ancient rituals, pagan ceremonies, secret symbols, powerful kings, corporate marketing, and one of the most successful cultural reinventions in history. Before Christmas existed, trees meant something else. Long before Christmas, long before Christianity, and long before the modern idea of winter holidays, people worshipped trees. To ancient civilizations, evergreen trees were the ultimate symbol of life. While everything else withered and died in winter, evergreens stayed green, unchanging, eternal. Across cultures, Egyptians, Romans, Celts, Vikings, winter celebrations featured evergreen branches or entire trees. Egyptians used palm branches to honor the rebirth of the god Ra. Romans decorated homes with greenery during Saturnalia. Celts believed evergreen trees had protective spirits. Vikings saw evergreens as sacred to the sun god Balder. These weren't decorations, they were spiritual symbols, powerful, protective, sacred. So when you put up a Christmas tree today, you're continuing a ritual thousands of years older than the holiday itself. But how did these ancient tree rituals become a Christian tradition? That answer begins in medieval Germany. The medieval mystery plays and the first paradise trees. The earliest true ancestor of the modern Christmas tree appears in the Middle Ages, around the 1400s. Every December 24th, Europeans celebrated Adam and Eve Day with a theatrical performance called a mystery play. These plays told the story of Eden, including the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. But there was one big problem. It was winter. There were no fruit trees, so stage crews improvised. They brought in evergreens and hung apples from them. These became known as paradise trees, and they were wildly popular, the visual symbol of Eden. Soon, the tradition escaped the stage and moved into homes. Families put small paradise trees in their houses on December 24th and decorated them with apples, sweets, and wafers. It wasn't Christmas yet, but the tree had arrived. The church's complicated relationship with trees. Here's the part they don't teach you. Many church authorities hated the tree tradition at first. To them, decorating trees was dangerously close to pagan rituals, the very practices Christianity had tried to replace. Some clergy condemned the trees, others tolerated them, but ordinary people loved them. The tug-of-war lasted for centuries. Eventually, the church shifted its strategy. If you can't beat a ritual, absorb it. Evergreen trees slowly merged with Christian symbolism: eternal life, triumph over darkness, Christ as the tree of life. The cultural fusion was complete. The Christmas tree was born, but it would take one more powerful force to spread it across the world. The Germans didn't just start the tradition, they perfected it. By the 1500s, German towns were filled with decorated trees. Families placed them in windows, hung fruit, nuts, gingerbread, and small gifts. People danced around them. Guilds staged public displays. And then a shocking twist. Many early Christmas trees were hung from the ceiling. Yes, upside down, a symbol of the Holy Trinity. German immigrants later carried the tradition to America in the 1700s. But the United States wasn't ready for it yet. That would change with a single, now iconic image. The viral newspaper image that changed Christmas forever. In 1848, the Illustrated London News published a sketch of Queen Victoria and Prince Albert standing beside their decorated Christmas tree. Albert was German, and Victoria adored him. When the public saw the royal family smiling around a Christmas tree, it became an instant trend. The drawing went viral, 1800s-style viral. A version was reprinted in America in 1850. And suddenly, Christmas trees became fashionable, Modern, elegant, royal. Within a generation, the Christmas tree became the centerpiece of the holiday in Britain and the United States. But the trees weren't the same ones we know today. Not yet. Christmas trees become industrialized. As Christmas trees spread, so did new industries. Ornaments. German craftsmen began mass-producing glass baubles in the 1800s. The first American ornaments were made in the late 19th century. Lighting. At first, yes, people tried to place candles on trees. This was as dangerous as it sounds. Electric lights didn't replace candles until the 20th century. Commercial Christmas tree farms. Before the 1900s, trees were chopped down in forests. By the 1920s, farmers started planting trees specifically for Christmas. Presents under the tree. Originally, gifts were hung on the tree. The idea of placing them underneath became popular in the late 1800s. By the early 1900s, companies saw the potential. Sears catalogs, Coca-Cola ads, toy brands, and lighting companies poured money into marketing, turning Christmas from a tradition into an industry. The American reinvention. America didn't just adopt the Christmas tree, it redesigned it. Starting in the early 20th century, American culture added new twists: bigger trees, brighter lights, themed ornaments, tinsel, aluminum trees, artificial snow, rotating stands, electric light shows, synchronized displays. By the 1950s, TV cemented the tree as the star of the holiday season. But even then, the story wasn't finished. The tree had one more reinvention to go. The rise of the artificial Christmas tree. Most people assume fake Christmas trees are modern, but they've been around since the early 1900s. The first major artificial trees were made of goose feathers, dyed green, imported from Germany. By the 1950s, companies introduced aluminum trees, shimmering, futuristic, and beloved in mid-century design. In the 1980s and 1990s, realistic PVC trees took over. Today, more than 80% of American households use artificial trees. The Christmas tree has become a hybrid of history, technology, and cultural reinvention, a tradition constantly reinventing itself. Which brings us to the final, shocking truth. You've been lied to. The Christmas tree isn't an ancient Christian ritual, a straightforward biblical tradition, a purely German invention, or even a holiday decoration that's thousands of years old. It is a patchwork, a collage of stories, ancient pagan rituals, medieval theater, Christian symbolism, royal publicity, American marketing, and modern consumer culture. It isn't one tradition. It's many traditions layered on top of each other, woven into something timeless, familiar, and beautiful. So, the next time you decorate your tree, remember, you're participating in a ritual older than Christmas itself, a ritual that has survived empires, religions, kings, wars, and entire civilizations. A tradition that started in ancient forests, traveled through medieval villages, was revived by a queen, and now lights up millions of homes. If you enjoyed this story, give the video a like. It helps us reach more curious minds. Subscribe for more surprising histories behind everyday things. This is the history behind simple things. Thanks for watching.